Hello, everybody, and welcome to Unmade Gaming. We are here for the last and final, charity stream of the year. This is December. We have raised so much money for charity, and this is the final push to hit $10,000 raised for sick kids. So join me on this final 12-hour journey this year, and to start that, we're going to rock some good boys and girls, some pupper duty. We're going to be playing Pugmire. So here running the game for us is Ozzy. Ozzy, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And tell us about Pugmire.
Hello, my name is Ozzy. I'm Carl Hammond on Twitter and then Twitch, and I will be the guide for this adventure. Pugmire is a role-playing game written by Eddie Webb and published by Onyx Path Publishing. And it's all about dogs in an apocalyptic world. Man has long gone. No one knows exactly what happened to them, but they are gone. And one of the last things they did was to uplift dogs and other animals they thought worthy. And so here we are. We are dogs who walk on two legs, who have developed language, who have a culture, and don't stop each other's bottoms anymore. Unless in dire circumstances. But it's a civilized world, roughly medieval, and the characters are going to be members of the Royal Pioneers, who are an organization of dogs who go out and explore the world, because it's still most of it is still unexplored. There are many places where dogs have not gone before, and there are whispers and rumors of riches a man has left behind. And these are just some of the things dogs are there for. And today, if you remember the game in June, the group rescued one of their numbers from the evil cult of Laborator, a group of rats, equally uplifted and intelligent and cultured, but slightly more sinister, who abducted one of their number and did unspeakable experiments on her. They managed to subdue the rats and rescue their friend Picasso, Sister Picasso, Collie, who is a shepherd at St. Anna's. And they also rescued a cat who was very, very poorly. She could barely speak. She couldn't remember who she was. And she's been sent to the hospital to be healed and looked after. And this is where we're going to start the adventure later.
Fantastic. That being said, we do have some returning faces and at least one new face. So we'll start with the new face. Christine, who are you? Where can we find you? And who are you playing today?
Hi, everybody. My name is Christine Chester. I can be found on Twitter at 12th Night. That's 12th Night with a K. And ordinarily, I do a show called Heroes of the Hydian Way, which is a Star Wars actual play podcast, which you can learn more about at thehydianway.com. But today, I am going to be playing Sadie Mutt, a Staffordshire. Here's where I have a breed I can't pronounce. / Terrier Mutt stray.
Fantastic. Channel favorite, Katie, my internet wife. Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And who are you playing today?
I'm Katie. You can find me on my Twitter at KatieFace and various other places all over the internet. You probably see me and get tired of me. I am playing Buttercup, who is a corgi and is a hunter, so I'm very excited.
Fantastic. And last but not least, Silent, you've been here before. You're back again. Who are you? Where can we find you? And who are you playing today?
Hello, thanks for inviting me back. I'm Silent Adel. You can find me all over the internet, especially on Twitter, but you can also find me in your hearts. And I'll be playing Arthur. Arthur is a bulldog, and he's very friendly.
Fantastic. And I will be reprising my role as Desi from the previous Pugmire campaign, a spastic ADD-afflicted rat terrier who is a thief. Just like me in real life. That being said, guys, this is a charity stream. This is the final charity stream of the year. We are trying to raise just under $500. So the goal is set at our normal $250. Let's see if we can crush that and crush the remaining $250 after that. So check in the description down below for what you can donate for, and come join us and interact with the show. Ozzy, take us away. Muted.
I am muted, sorry. Mentioning donations, for every $100, I will be drawing a card from the Invisible Sun Sooth deck, which will affect the game in some way. I stole this idea blatantly from Grant Ellis, who's quite famous for combining various elements from different games into his games, and I thought that would be a good thing to do. So please let me know when we've hit $100, and I'll draw one of those cards.
Absolutely.
And the camera opens, the shot opens, an aerial view of a medieval city, roughly circular in shape, timber-framed houses, stone and timber-framed houses, cobbled streets. And the streets are filled with dogs who are purposely walking along, going about the business, chatting and haggling with each other, and doing all the things you would expect people or other, if you're looking at fantasy worlds, people of other heritages to do. And the camera zooms into the western quarter, a large building with a big courtyard in which several dogs are training at fighting, archery, and other things. And we see a group of dogs in one corner waiting for someone or something to happen. So please describe your characters.
Buttercup is a chocolate brown corgi who has spots of white on her, mostly on her neck and her legs, and relatively tall for a corgi. And she has her little cloak over her armor and everything, and she is just sort of fooling with her crossbow, sort of like, you know, making sure it's ready to go for wherever they need to go next.
Desi is probably pacing laps around the group. He is a shortish rat terrier. He is white with black spots, wearing dark leather armor with a hood. The hood is currently down, and he is kind of walking around, pacing, folding, unfolding his arms. All right, what are we waiting for? Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. What's happening? This is taking far too long, far too long. Oh, God, it's been like 3 whole minutes. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. As he is spinning circles around everybody.
Sadie is a particularly large dog who actually isn't wearing any armor, but just some sort of like cloth and stuff like that. She has brown spots you can see on different parts of her fur. A couple of scars kind of show through certain parts of the fur, and she has a kind of large sort of like spear close at hand, and sort of a large hammer currently secured to her back. In contrast to Desi, she is standing perfectly still, as if she's afraid if she moves, she's going to break something.
And then we have Arthur. He's not like the biggest, but he's relatively tall, and he's got his light skin with a couple of like brown spots, and he's got that kind of droopy face, which makes it look like he's not happy, but he tries to make up for it with just how friendly he is, because he doesn't want people to think he's upset, and he's just ambling along a little bit slow, just kind of in his clerical robes, just like, why are we always in a rush, Desi?
What do you mean? This isn't a rush. I'm just waiting. Just taking a long time. Just regular pace. I haven't even started rushing yet. We have things to do. We were here for a reason. We got to wait for the reason. We got to do the thing.
You're always rushing around.
I mean, right now I'm just standing still, pretty much. And he's still pacing.
This is the stillest he's been in a very long time.
See? Thank you.
And as you're chatting, the big double doors towards the street open, and in comes a tallish, snow-white Samoyed. Both Desi and Arthur recognize her. This is sorry. I have now forgotten her name.
Picasso?
No. Yes. Sorry. It's been a long time. She is called... let's call her Snowy, because I can't remember her name. It's Snowy Samoyed. She is the matron of the hospital. So she is the lead healer at the hospital. And in her company is a shortish, dark grey furred cat in a simple robe. And Desi, you barely recognize this cat. This is the cat you rescued about 2 months earlier. She's now her fur is all grown back, and and she looks a lot better than she used to, but she still looks a bit confused and sad. And Snowy, Sister Snowy comes up to you and good morning, excellent. Good to see you all. We have I have asked you. I have asked your. I've asked Laura Labrador to get a group together. And you've been selected. Good to see you again, Desi. And you might remember Mal. It's a name we've given her because she doesn't remember her name. But she is the cat you rescued from the rats. She is back to at least physical health, but she doesn't remember her name, and not what she remembers that she used to be able to cast spells, but she has forgotten how, or has lost the ability to. And as we are not really familiar with cats in that regard, and we found it important that she goes back to her people. And so I'm asking you to escort her back to the monarchies of Mao. This will be a rather long journey, maybe a week or so, and it will be through the fearful forest. So it might even be quite dangerous. But you're capable dogs. You're strong pioneers, and I trust you. And also, you will have a guide. We are expecting any moment to turn up here. And she looks around a bit. And with that, there is a knock on the door. One of the dogs who sort of oversee things around here opens the door. There's one of the mastiff guards outside. There's a cat here, and she says she has business here, wants to see Sunny, that's her name. Sunny Summeryet. And Sunny says, yes, let her in. And in steps a rather tall ginger tabby, clad from head to foot in skin or fur-tied leather, and she looks like this. Can you see that? And
no.
try this in Roll20.
There it is.
Right, here we go. And this is one of the featured cats in the Monarchies of Mao book, which has just been released, which is the book of the cats. This is very much similar game, just with cats instead of dogs, in a land just on the other side of the fearful forest.
So Desi kind of looks around and says, and we have a, they know we're coming, right? And he like looks to the cat guide.
I have sent word, but we will need to introduce ourselves. I will take you to a town where hopefully there will be people, cats, who might have an idea where our poor Mal is originally came from, or at least might have a way of restoring a memory.
Okay, great. Because the last time I went to Mao, I got in all kinds of trouble because no one knew I was coming, even though they're supposed to know I was coming. And I went there, and they didn't even know. So now that they know, that's fine. We can go.
And I will be with you. So as long as you stay with me, you should be safe in Mao.
Great.
I'm just a little worried about going through the forest, but we'll probably be okay.
Well, we were taking the main road, and it's a well-traveled road, and so it shouldn't be too bad as long as we don't stray from it. And Buttercup, you know the at least the part that is still dog territory reasonably well. You know, there are things that go bump in the night or even during the day, but they tend not to interfere with the road too much. But there's always something going on. May there be bandits who try to rob trade caravans and other things.
I'm sure that we can handle it, especially if we have a guide. But we'll just have to make sure to stick together.
Yeah, where else will we stick?
So, is everyone ready? I see you've packed all your things, and so I suggest you leave as soon as possible, so you manage to get to the first campsite within the forest before it goes completely dark.
As soon as possible. That's my preference.
I prefer to stay out of the dark. Yeah, we should probably go.
Do we know how long this journey is going to take us? How many campsites are in the forest?
She said about a week. So through the forest itself, it'll be probably 3 nights you need to stay over.
Okay.
Well, I'm ready if you guys are.
What?
Well, so we can hurry up and just get this over with.
I'm ready as soon as you are.
Fantastic. And so we go. You all know Pugmire, so you will need to head to the docks and then take, you can either hire a boat yourself or you can take one of the regular ferries across the river. And so you are currently here at Pioneers Guild. And you're the fastest way is just to go round through the Southgate Quarter. The Southgate Quarter is the wealthy quarter. It's the merchants' quarter, where there are lots of shops where the really posh dogs live who aren't nobles, because all the nobles have a house in the Palace District in the center of the city. And then you go through to Riverwall Quarter, which is the place Desi knows best. It's the more shady part of town, and it's also a place where a lots of cats and rats and other people live. But it's still relatively early in the morning, and it's not that dangerous at that time of day. Is there anything else you want to do before you leave?
I don't think so.
I was just going to make note of the fact that when we were heading towards the Southgate quarter, Sadie kind of grew more tense and uncomfortable, sort of trying to shrink down. When we went into Riverwall, she actually sort of is relaxed a little bit, kind of opened up, looks a little bit larger as we're walking through that district.
Yeah, Desi. I think Desi leads through Riverwall, right? Because it's tightly packed and it's a little slummier. The lamps are less lit here for some reason. Yeah,
even during the day.
Even during the day, yeah. There's just a general malaise that just sort of covers the. But yeah, so he leads through this way towards the docks.
Yeah, it's definitely less clean than the Southgate Quarter.
Right.
And you just as you arrive at the docks, you see the ferry cast off with a load of wagons on it and go across the river.
Now, are we riding something, or are we taking a ferry?
You're on foot.
Okay. No, I mean, are we when we leave the city? Are we riding something, or are we taking a ferry across the river?
No, you can either take a ferry, but that has just left, or you can hire a boat.
Okay. Yeah, I think once we see the ferry leave, Desi looks to the guide and says, "Well, what's your plan?"
Well, we're just a little bit too late for the ferry, and it'll take a while until it's back. So I suggest we take a boat.
Did they give you traveling expenses or something of that nature?
Oh yes, I forgot. You each got a handful of plastic coins as travel expenses. A paulful, I should say.
Well, then let's go. Let's jump in there. And Desi
might as well.
He pulls out coin and hands it to the guy.
Yeah, that's like a key, and that's a rat in the boat, which should be big enough for all of you. That's 1, 2, 3, 6. Yeah.
Let's do this.
And Buttercup carefully climbs into the boat.
Wait, who grabs an oar as well?
I'll grab an oar.
Can row. So the rat sits in the back with the tiller, and you need to row. So the 4 of you can row. It should be at least 2 of you.
Yeah, I'll grab an oar.
Okay.
I'm happy to assist. Sorry.
Right, it's 2 of you.
Arthur's happy to assist. I'm not.
The river here is quite wide. It's easily about 300 yards. But it's a bit at the moment it looks calm and sort of easygoing. But especially Buttercup knows that it can be a bit unpredictable. And you cast off, and you're not fine as a current in the river comes in. And I would like the 2 on the oars to make me a strength check, please.
Okay.
Great start. Even better.
How are we doing? So here's what I at least think happens for part of it. Sadie's eager to help. She's never been in a boat before or hasn't been the one at the controls. So part of this is at one point she is going in the wrong direction from Arthur and we're kind of spinning around.
Yeah, you are definitely, you're working against each other instead of with each other. And instead of steering against the current that's coming up, you're going with it, and you're sort of in a lazy spin going down the river. And
I don't understand this stupid boat.
Row stronger in the rat in the back, and you can repeat the roll.
All right.
We must row in time, Sadie. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Nope.
Hey.
I think Arthur's trying to learn how to compensate a bit for her. Only instruction she was given was to row stronger, so she's just not doing it correctly still.
You are spinning now in the opposite direction.
Desi is on the front of the boat, and he's like, we're not even going anywhere!
I think I'm getting a little sick.
I feel like it would be quicker if we got out and pushed.
That's it. We are going to row to the other side of the shore, and Sadie is getting mad. And as she starts getting mad, and it's actually getting a little kind of scary sitting beside her, Arthur, as she's actually going to just start rowing even harder from before. Honestly, I like to rage.
Okay.
And we're gonna give this one more shot.
So you get advantage.
Yep. $17. There we go.
And Arthur, if you can keep up with that. Again, you move in the opposite direction, but it was a quite a strong push from Zadie, and so you managed to get up, but you're now reasonably far, of course. Actually, I'm going to take you to the big map.
We're terrible at this.
So if this was Mouseguard, we'd be fucked because we have no boat skills.
So you set off about here, and you wanted to go more or less straight over. But you're now about here already.
Ozzy, is there anything that Buttercup could do to perhaps help us get back on course? Because you said she sort of knows this area.
Well, you know where to go, but you need to. The others will actually, the ones on the oars, actually need to go there. You know, you can direct them. So let's say you can give them advantage on the next roll.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll use help and help you guys try to steer this the right way.
All right. Anyway, so one more roll.
Yeah, one more roll each.
Once more with feeling.
22.
Okay.
Sadie's really, really mad at this stupid mug.
19.
The DC was only 10. But you still, you because, you know, several wrong attempts, you come up around here. So the problem is it's quite a steep bank and there aren't any tetches where it could land properly. So you would sort of need to find a way of, you know, stopping the boat next to a rock or something. Let's say the Buttercup and Sadie can make a survival roll.
Sure.
To find a nice spot to do that.
I think you, unless you already did this, Ozzy, I don't know the character sheet. You add 3 to what I roll because it's a wisdom check.
Yeah.
20.
26.
What? So can't row. Doesn't know anything about the water, but finding a place to land. We've got that.
Yep. I mean, you know the land, you just don't know the water. And then it's a case of someone needs to jump out and tie the boat to somewhere so you can all get out. But now you're on the shore where there aren't any jetties, and you were supposed to row the boat where it can then be taken by someone going in the other direction. And the rat in the back goes, so right, and now what? I'm supposed to do? There's nobody here.
Just wait. I mean, I'm sure you'll find someone will come along eventually.
Not around here, maybe down in Mudtown or up where we were supposed to be going, but no, not now.
You could.
Here.
I mean,
look at this. Walk here.
You could probably just sort of slide the boat to Mudtown. Just push it very gently, and you'll be fine.
This is just like a big rowboat, right?
It is, yes.
Sadie's still kind of upset from this whole experience of the water, and especially with all the splashing from rowing really, really hard, like her fur's wet and she's just grumpy. And when this argument's happening, she's going to go over and see about picking up this boat and start walking it up the shore to where he wants it.
Okay.
Buttercup's mid-sentence just goes,
or Sadie can take care of it.
I mean, you can probably sort of, bridle path it up the river. Just take the rope and pull it.
Okay. That'll
work.
Okay. I'll drag it back.
I think if the boat's riding you, I should get my money back.
I told you, all you have to do is just push it. Just push it. It's no big deal.
Look, I can't give you your money back. I've lost so much time already because of your incapable rowing.
I mean, hire some rowers next time.
I mean, I don't want to teach you how to do your job, but you're a boatman. I'm not.
Well, you weren't rowing, so that's. Anyway, so it takes you a good while to go back upriver where you're supposed to be, and where they are checking.
But please tell me, by the time we're up there and we've put this thing down there, the ferry's back on the other side.
It is.
Where it's like, oh, we could have just waited.
Perfect.
And then which you don't see on the map, and then you see the beginning of a road leading into the forest.
Actually, we get to the fucking docks, and the ferry has just returned for a second trip. It's already looped back around. Well, we're here now. Let's go. I've only been here once. Just saying.
And
Can't be worse than the river.
it's the road is reasonably well maintained. It's about as wide enough for two standard-sized carts to pass each other, and it leads straight into the forest. And you're not far in, and despite it being bright daylight when you entered the forest, the trees are so dense and tall that there's hardly any light filtering through. So it's really quite gloomy down there. It's enough to see where you're going, but it feels more like dusk than daytime where you are. And so you make your way.
I think you notice
the
that
beautiful forest.
You notice Buttercup's a little uncomfortable walking into the dark forest. She's a little skittery, and just keeps looking around, like checking behind us, just making sure her eyes and ears are open as we're walking.
With a name like the Fearful Forest, what could go wrong?
Exactly. It seems pretty nice. There's like birds chirping. It's pretty dark in here. I like it.
Monifa, the cat guide, goes, it's I've been through the forest many times. It's a bit unpredictable, but as long as we stay on the road, we should be fine. There's not much, at least during the day. It's usually quiet. And we're just a group of wanderers. If we were a trade caravan, we might need to be a little more careful. So I don't think we pose too much of a target for the badger bandits that hang out around here.
Wait, badger bandits?
Yep.
That sounds awful.
They can be quite nasty.
I'm sure we could take a couple of badger bandits. I mean, there are worse things to be scared of in dark places like this, and a couple of badgers, no worry at all.
Well, then what should we be afraid of?
And where are we going to take
There are
them?
worse things.
Let's just not focus on that and talk about that right now, and let's just keep traveling.
Well, it's the Fearful Forest for a reason. There are unseen things still left behind, things that went wrong a long time ago. But they tend to stay off the road.
Well, then let's stay on the road.
But that's probably for the best. We should just keep a straight trail and just stay on the road, and we'll make camp, and then we will continue our journey and get this nice cat delivered.
And the cat you were escorting, she's been just following along and looking scared, and just always tries to stay in the center of the group. There's always someone of you around her. She's not saying much.
I think Buttercup just sort of looks back at the cat they're escorting and gives her a smile, and then just continues on, probably keeping in the middle of the group.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be the best place for her to keep tabs on everybody and what's happening around them.
Yeah, I think Desi is with the cat guide, and he's just pacing around her as she walks. And he's just asking, so you met a guide for lunch?
Can you just be a bit more quiet. This is really quiet.
Can I be a lot more quiet? Yeah, I could probably be more quiet if I really wanted to be quiet. How long have you been a guide for? Is this how far are we? Are we almost there yet? How long is the path?
There will be a few nightfalls in between.
A few nightfalls? How many nightfalls? What time is nightfall? How much time do we have? It's really dark in here.
It's a while off.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a long way.
Okay. What about the badgers? What about the things that aren't the badgers? What was Buttercup talking about? What's off the trail? What happens if I just go over here and he starts to like walk off the trail?
Okay. She's not preventing you. She warned you earlier, but she's not preventing you.
He like walks off the path and then looks back to her. Nope. All right.
She just ignores you.
He comes back. See, there's nothing even out there. And he walks back.
Well, if you want to provoke something in the forest, you need to go a little further inland.
No, why don't I'll just ask what's over there. And he's just going to continue to be irritating for the length of the journey.
And you just Buttercup, you just every now and then you go, Desi, please get back on the path. Please get back on the path. Just behind.
And Desi, as you, one of those, if it's just, you step into between the trees a bit, you hear it first. There's a loud crack coming from within the forest. And this, maybe not you, but Buttercup definitely knows this noise, this cracking, splintering noise of a falling tree. And you'll need to make me dexterity saving throws.
Everybody?
Yep.
It's a 14 for me.
All right.
I even heard it and was warned and still made a crit fail.
Oh, it's his little corgi legs.
Corgi leg. God, I'm gonna have to have a talk with Eric Volgarist.
Actually, Buttercup can roll with advantage. So
okay, awesome.
He knows the forest.
That one. 7!
Right. So anyone who's better than a
7.
No, better than a 12.
Okay, barely.
So Sadie and Desi
managed to jump out of the way as this huge tree falls straight across the road, crashing down. And those who failed the roll, you take, because it basically the twigs, the branches in the tree sort of strafe you, and you take just one. They just literally just brush you. You take 1 bludgeoning damage.
You get a splinter apiece.
Yeah, you get a splinter.
In my paw.
But there's now this tree. It is at least as tall as Sadie. As thick as Sadie is tall.
Can I tell that, like, this couldn't have happened naturally? Like, someone or something pushed this down or cut it down or something like that?
It's unlikely because the tree looks healthy.
Okay.
If it was old and rotten, then that might have happened naturally. But it looks reasonably healthy.
Do I smell any badgers in the area? Maybe.
Make me a perception check.
Okay, because Sadie is lifting.
In Pugmire, this would be called notice, but we're using the D&D 5th edition character sheet. Works the same way. It's just a different name.
So Sadie is like lifting her head up, and she is sniffing the air and looking around, her ears swiveling, since we were warned about those badger bandits. And 13?
no badges, no nothing either uplifted or nothing mammal-like you can smell. You also you hear as you're looking around, your ears are swiveling. You hear a scrabbling coming from the same direction the tree fell from, and suddenly the whole trunk of the tree is swarming with ant-like creatures. They're about this big, and they're swarming all around the trunk and then underneath the trunk. And the Buttercup can make me a nature roll.
Yeah, sure. God damn! I quit. I can't play anymore. I'm done.
They are.
Everybody, donate some crits to Katie.
Ants.
Donate anything to Katie at this point.
Anything. Just anything. God.
Now I see why you don't play D&D.
Any other game. It doesn't matter. It's just any game. I'm cursed.
And these ants, whatever they are, you don't know exactly what they are. They swarm around, and they go to either side of the trunk. And then suddenly the trunk lifts up, the whole thing, which must weigh hundreds of tons, and is carried by the ants back into the forest.
So, like, that was something.
I don't think that was natural at all.
The bugs?
Everything about this.
The monitor, the tracker, the cat tracker. Yeah, I haven't seen them in a while. They are woodcutter termites.
Oh.
So there's your.
They make their dens out of trees they fell.
So there's your answer, Sadie, about what's worse in these woods. Those things.
They're harmless though. They're only just in trees and not people.
Yeah, but
I got a splinter.
Accidents happen.
yeah, I don't know if you saw that, but we were all here 1 second, and then there was a tree the next second, and then we were all like, ah, and the tree came and it hit us. It almost hit us. Didn't hit me. I was fine. Too quick.
Buttercup Monifa comes over to you, takes your paw, extends her claws, and picks out the splinter from your paw. There you go.
Thank you.
The next one you pick out yourself. It's that easy.
All right.
Just
And she sort of
looks at her
flicks it
paw
away.
and just puts her hand down her paw.
Now that is over, we can carry on. So let's do this.
Onward.
And on the journey goes through the road isn't perfectly straight, but meanders this way and that way. I assume to get around obstacles in the way. But it's clear. There's an occasional cart, dogs who live there. Also, local lumberjacks, lumber dogs.
Lumberjack terriers.
Yeah.
There you go.
Don't, Mike. Don't.
Bad, Katie.
I'm actually going to take away your nat 20 for puns.
Who am I?
So this is occasional. It's not a busy road, but there is the occasional traffic.
Yeah, I think we just continue following the cat.
Yeah, and I think now that this tree has fallen, Buttercup is really like making sure she listens out and pays attention.
You, as you probably hear through Roll20, there are all kinds of noises going on. There are cracks and splinters, but further away, not as loud as they were just before the tree fell. And there's always rustling in the underbrush. It's especially after a while, as you notice that whatever is rustling in the underbrush isn't actually coming in onto the road. You feel a bit safer, but still there is this underlying spookiness of the noises in the woods. Buttercup is a bit more used to it because she's explored the forest, at least sort of the outreach on the Pugmire side, on the hunt after the things that she's been looking for, the things that killed her family. Unsuccessfully so far, but various things that hunt and burrow their way around the woods. And most of them, at least the ones you've met, were relatively harmless. And you carry on through the woods, and it's getting darker and darker. And until one of us says, yeah, it's coming up to nightfall. We've lost quite a bit of time, but we should carry on to the first campsite.
Through the night?
Not all the way through the night. Only a while longer.
Is anyone else hearing these noises in here? It's so loud. What's moving around?
Well, you want to look for them?
Yeah, he'll look.
Buttercup's just like, it's just normal forest things, Desi. You really don't have to look. It's okay, I promise.
I don't believe you. It's loud noises.
Just stay on the path.
Last time there was a loud noise, a tree fell on you.
Worst thing, Desi, you find trouble.
That's easy to deal with. At least I know trouble.
So is Desi going and look?
Yeah, he's gonna pop off the road and kind of look around.
Make me a perception or survival check.
Perception 15.
Okay. Yeah, you hear a something brushing through the bushes, and there's little cracks as it breaks off twigs and so forth. It's probably about, you guess it's about half your size.
Okay. Desi's not a big guy, so if it's smaller than him, he's not too afraid of it. And he kind of like spots it and then turns back and begins walking back to the group.
It has 4 legs.
Okay.
And it's a white and brown speckled coat, and sort of it's a bit odd because it's hopping, because the back legs are taller than the front legs, and it's sort of snuffling along, and it also has antlers.
What?
Imagine a hare with a deer's antlers.
Oh, okay, got it. A jackalope. Okay. Yeah. So he's not concerned with tiny forest critters, and he walks. He kind of like sees this and he goes, "Oh, well, that's nothing," and then turns back and walks towards the group.
Jackalope turns around and stares at you with red, glowing eyes.
Nope.
Desi, are you
Yeah.
okay?
You know, I'm fine. It's like a thing with antlers over here. It's real little. It seems like it's cute.
Maybe don't explore any further.
What if I make it a pet?
It grins at you with lots and lots of sharp and pointy teeth.
It's got such pointy teeth. They're like mine.
You just said pointy. Desi, maybe turn around and come back.
Okay. Come on. And he starts to walk back.
Are you bringing the thing with you?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh no, it's sitting there. It just stares at you.
Yeah, he like waves at it. Come on. And then he walks back to the group.
It ignores you.
No, it didn't even come. Well, I don't know why it was making so much noise. It's a really small little thing. It's got like little antlers up there.
I want to see this.
Yeah, I know, right? It's got like glowy eyes and sharp teeth.
I actually do want to take a step or two in the forest, see if I can at least get a look at this thing.
Yeah, Jesse points it out, and you see the first thing you see is the glowing red eyes.
You hear a shout back. It's adorable, isn't it?
It's kind of creepy.
That's rude.
Is this like... Sorry, go ahead.
After you.
Is this thing particularly, like, plump?
As a hair would be, yeah.
We should not stray from the path, friends. We only delay ourselves further.
Arthur makes very good points.
As you look closer, its antlers sort of start to writhe and form like a mouth with teeth.
I'm going to start backing up, holding my spear a little tighter. All thoughts of killing and eating this thing going out of my head. I think Arthur's right.
Yeah, Desi's already back towards the path.
We should just continue on.
Right.
I told all of you that there are worse things inside the forest, and we should just continue on and not go looking for them.
That's true. You did say that.
I did. You probably shouldn't make any other friends, Desi.
Oh, but I'm such good at. I'm really great at making friends.
Maybe not those friends.
Oh. Well,
Buttercup's just like gripping her crossbow so tight.
All right. Well. I guess no more friends today.
Let's just get to the campsite. That's probably for the best.
Right. Hey, Manifa, is the rumor true? Can cats see in the dark?
Some of us can, yes.
Can you?
I can.
Good. That'll make this a lot easier and safer.
Well then, shall we?
How far away are we from the campsite? Do we know?
Not far.
Okay. Yeah, then once everyone is back on the path, Buttercup's just gonna continue on with everybody, making sure everyone is on this path. Like if Desi steps a paw out of line, she's just like, no.
And it's indeed not long. Dogs don't have a strong ability to measure time. So no hours, minutes, or whatever. That's sort of longer than a wag, and a wag, which is like a second or a round. And there is you see that the road takes a bend, and you see sort of the edges of firelight from around the bend, like from a campfire, not a burning fire.
Are we expecting company?
Does somebody already prepare the fire?
The campsite's coming up, and it looks like somebody's already there. But there should be enough space for all of us.
Desi looks at Buttercup and says, "Are you sure no more friends?"
There is safety in numbers.
All right.
Maybe we can, if they're not, sharp teeth and red glowing eyes, and maybe we can be friends.
All right.
And there are indeed, as you come round the bend, there's a large bit next to the road cleared of trees. And there's a bonfire in the center, and around the bonfire are 3 colorful wagons. They are in 2 are wooden, and they're painted in strange exotic patterns and colors, and one is like a canvas type, cloth covered, and around the bonfire there are a number of creatures that walk around. They don't look like dogs or cats at first from afar, and as you come closer, you can see they have no fur at all because they are lizards.
What's our relationship like with lizards, Ozzy?
You've seen them before. They regularly come through. They live in a faraway land, both on the southern, on the other end of the southern sea, and also to the far east in the desert. And they regularly come to Pugmire to trade their exotic wares and to
so we're not like automatic enemies.
And they are quite famous for their entertainment. Okay. They are jugglers, and they're magicians. Oh. They are famous for their fireworks.
Do you think they'll put on a show for us?
We can but ask.
Yeah, maybe if someone asks nicely, we'll have some entertainment before bed.
Let me see if I still have that in here.
Of course, I could always do a dramatic reading of something.
I would sit for that too.
Can you?
To give you a little idea.
Oh, okay.
These are from the Pugmire book. So there are different kinds. There are like there's a bearded dragon, there's a chameleon, and 3 geckos.
She looks at Arthur. It's like,
perhaps you should speak to them. You are sort of the face of the group.
As you,
the 2 geckos, they are still setting up the camp, and the 2 geckos wander towards one of the wagons. And they reach in and they pull out a pole, looks like a tent pole or something. But they pull and pull and pull. And hang on a moment. That pole is now longer than the cart is. And they're still pulling, so they now pulled out this pole, which is about twice the length of the cart. Setting it down, pull out another one, and a few more shorter ones, and they they erect a tent.
Do you guys see that?
That's amazing.
It's magical poles.
Or a magical cart.
Or a magical cart.
Or the people are magical.
Or magical people.
Or we're hallucinating.
You all know that the lizards have strange magics your artisans and shepherds can't explain.
Someone go make friends.
Arthur's going to go up and introduce himself and vaguely, introduce the party as well. Can't be selfish here.
Yeah, there's an elderly-looking lizard. It's sort of bearded dragon-ish in flowing wrapped around robes with a big turban on his head and a little white beard under their chin.
He looks to be in charge. Arthur's making a beeline for him.
In a non-threatening way, I assume.
Pours out. Greetings, friend.
Greetings. Please, share the camp with us.
Arthur beckons everyone over. That is certainly an impressive trick with the tent poles we saw from a distance.
It's not a trick. It's science.
You say science, but we cannot explain this magic of yours.
Oh, it's just the dimension inside the cart are bigger than the outside. It's a space-saving measure.
And does it travel through time?
We have not been able to go that far yet. It's also not blue.
No timey-wimey stuff.
No, they're lizards. They're slimy whiny.
And how goes your traveling, friend?
Oh, quite well. We've been on a long journey through the desert and through the monarchies of Mao, and now we're heading towards Pugmire, your good city, to trade and make friends.
I would warn you, we encountered a falling tree some time ago. It seems the local bugs are active.
Ah, yes, we've encountered them before. We are careful. We know how to avoid them.
Thankfully, but I did not. And Arthur's just going to show where he's just been brushed by a falling tree. Slight bruising.
Your first time in the forest, then?
Well, they said a trip to the fearful forest. It sounded like fun.
Yeah, the small cat you're escorting, she's not looking impressed at all. She sort of leans up against Buttercup a bit and
Oh, do you need to rest? We can.
I'm really tired.
Yeah. We can just. Well, we'll get you. Just come over here and sit down.
And I think Buttercup begins to unpack whatever bedroll, whatever thing they have, and helps the cat sort of get.
There's enough space so you can set up your own camp as well.
Yeah, I think, and that's what Buttercup starts to do, and just so she can help this cat take a break. She's been through a lot.
I'll help you set up the camp, Buttercup.
Oh, thank you. You're much stronger than I am, and it'll probably go faster. it might not have been in the right direction, but you did row the boat very good.
And she looks a little kind of embarrassed when you remind her of the boat. But I'll do better with this, I think.
Oh, I'm sure of it. You'll do a great job. We all will.
Fast forward to a minute later with Sadie looking at different tent poles, like, what do I do with these?
Just rage. You'll be fine.
Like holding them up.
When in doubt, rage. Rage build.
I just see you holding them up and comparing them and then looking at the other tent, and you notice the other tent's dome, so you just bend one of the poles. On the dome.
I'm like, no. I don't understand why I can't convince anybody I'm a smart dog.
And the lizard speaking to Arthur. Where are my manners? My name is Salim. Salim the Magnificent.
Well, it is a pleasure to meet you, Salim the Magnificent. I am Arthur, and these are my friends.
The pleasure's all mine.
Escorting a precious cargo towards the Cat Kingdom.
Are you in need of food or drink?
We would be honored to break bread with you. Sorry, break biscuit.
Please, sit, partake, and he picks up one of the an earthenware amphora type container, hands you a cup and pours in a golden liquid.
I think Arthur's going to tentatively take a sip. Sorry, a lap of the liquid. He just wants to be certain that it's not going to kill everyone before he shares it with his friends.
It's as you hold it up to your face, you can smell it's strong and it's sweet, and there's this. It's like honey, but there's also strange and exotic spices in it.
This smells interesting, my friend. May I ask what you call it?
Oh, we call it honey wine, or you would call it honey wine.
Thank you for your hospitality. And then I'll summon everyone over to partake of deliciousness.
Yeah. Basically, they let plates of dates and almonds and other fruit and crunchy things you've never seen before round, and this amphora of honey wine, and it is absolutely delicious. But you also notice very quickly that it's also really strong. The lizards just knock the stuff back like this. Nobody's business. Like it was water, but you take a few sips and you realize, going, oh dear. I'm not sure I can stand up now.
Oh no.
My nose appears to be slightly numb.
Make a Constitution saving throw, Arthur.
Did you
got this?
The snoot?
Boop the snoot.
Yeah, that's okay. You managed to sit upright, but there's sort of a brief moment of disorientation and dizziness. Ooh, I'm not used to this.
I think Buttercup, seeing that this is how Arthur's reacting, just takes a little taste of it, realizes how strong it is, and just sets the glass aside.
But it's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't taste like it should be this alcoholic.
To me, at any
bar.
Desi sees that everyone seems to be drinking it, or most people seem to be drinking it and enjoying themselves, and he takes his glass and just sort of looks around and says, "Faster the better, right?" And shoots the drink back.
Constitution saving throw. At disadvantage.
At disadvantage. Desi is drunk.
Yeah, this might make him drunk and on a
7.
sugar high. The worst of both worlds.
Yep. So he shoots it back and goes, "Wow!"
Knock it back, and as you knock it back, you just fall back, all 4 paws in the air.
Yep.
And after a while, there's a loud snore coming from Desi.
Well, Desi won't be on watch tonight.
Yep. You just hear the fastest snore ever.
Well, at least we know he's not going to wander for a while.
That is very true. That is a good. That makes me feel a lot better. He's going to feel that in the morning, though.
Desi has made enough friends for one day, thankfully. Arthur's going to turn to Salim and ask him what the guard situation is for tonight. Maybe they should split duties or combine, have one of each party up.
I was about to suggest that we always have two of our number who stand guard and circle the camp. And if one of your number would change guard duties with us, we would be much obliged.
I am happy to join on first watch.
I'm happy to take a watch, too.
Then you will be joining Ali, and he pointed at one of the geckos, who sort of gives you a little salute with his suckled fingers. But I must retire. And Salim stands up and heads into one of the colourful wagons and disappears.
Right, shall we take a rest then?
Okay, so it's Arthur on first watch.
Buttercup will take second. She'll take whatever watch. She'll take one.
Okay.
I can take third.
Okay.
And for fourth, we'll just stick Desi on a stick and, just have a string attached to him with bells on it just in case.
You prop him up and use him as one of the fence posts, so run strings and bells.
We'll do the thing from Home Alone where he's got the train tracks with the cardboard cutouts.
Yep.
Yes.
Arthur, your watch is uneventful. There's now the usual. Oh, hang on. Let me switch.
Ooh.
Here we go. I can't actually hear what's coming out. Ah, I see.
Nature sounds.
Yeah, here we go. Just playing two at the same time.
Ah.
Right, so uneventful for me.
You wake up Buttercup?
I think I'll prepare a caffeinated beverage if I can, so that Buttercup has something to to wake up to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a thoughtful cleric.
Yep, that works. Let's see. Buttercup's watch is also uneventful. You're also with a lizard called Samira. With a gecko, sorry, a gecko called Samira. Zadie's up.
All right.
Ooh, another quiet watch.
It's that jackalope. It's just scaring everything away.
Yeah,
over 5 mile radius.
Every now and then, obviously there is rustling in the bushes and cracks and hoots and that sort of thing. And every now and then you spot like a pair of glowing eyes, but nothing that encroaches on the camp in any way.
All right. All right, then it's time to prop up Desi, put the bells on. Now, did we didn't leave Desi like where he fell, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
No, I like before bed. I think at least sort of dragged him and like tucked him into a bedroll or something.
Just throw it over him; he'll be fine.
He's not moved at all. It's all his 4 paws are still sticking out.
Probably at some point I also made sure he was still breathing.
You can hear the loud snores.
Yeah,
okay, we're
definitely
fine.
still breathing.
All right.
Those could be death snores. We got to be certain.
So wait, here's how I think I'm going to wake everybody up is once. Oh,
Arthur, if you want, you can roll a medicine roll to check on Desi.
24. I'm actually good at something.
He's out like a light, but he's fine. He'll probably have a sore head in the morning.
So how I think I'm going to wake everybody up because I want to be helpful is I'll start getting out some of our sort of like cooking gear and stuff like that. And given so many of the mammals are like people, are there still animals to eat or are we now like vegetarian dogs or something?
No, because there are still animals that are animals.
Okay.
So not there are also still canines, which are like the dogs of the day.
Okay.
And felines, which are like cats of the day. So not all animals have been uplifted. There are rabbits and cows and sheep and.
Okay, so we still eat meat and stuff like that. So it's not in bad form
definitely.
to cook up some bacon in the morning.
No.
And let that smell kind of fill the camp.
Although you have heard rumors of uplifted pigs from north of the mountains.
Well, fortunately, there's none of them here. If it's not in bad form, that's what I'm doing.
All the pigs around here are domesticated pigs.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and get breakfast going, and especially once like the smell's getting really good. If Desi still hasn't moved, I'll take like the band of bacon, and like move closer to him, kind of trying to see if that will get him to stir.
He starts salivating.
Yeah, I feel like you hear like the
still snoring but salivating.
Yeah. It snores and like pants back and forth like between the two, and then you see him like pop up and he goes, "Is that bacon?"
It is
like full on bacon strips.
I'll go in and like take a piece and kind of like very carefully. Like, well, watch out! It's hot. It's hot. Be careful. I'll pass it over to you.
That's fine. Eats the fresh out of the pan. This is hot. It was so hot.
Sleep well?
Yeah, I did. It was great. Thanks for asking. How's everyone else doing? Why is my head hurting? Did I fall over? I must have fallen over. Why is everyone still sleeping? Guys, it's bacon. Hey, guys, we have bacon strips.
That's it. Your voice is really loud and ringing in your head.
Yep, that's fair. But that's the only volume he speaks at.
That's the only volume Jesse knows.
Yep. That's all he's got. It must have bumped my head.
Oh yeah, you definitely bumped your head last night. You just fell straight over.
Weird.
And you were gone. Just over there, and you just I think you had a great night of sleep. Yeah.
I definitely had a great night. Now I got bacon, so I'm having a great day. We're off to a good start.
Maybe we should see if we can get some of that honey wine for Desi tonight.
That's an excellent idea, Arthur.
It's like you're giving your kid cough syrup. Sleep it off.
Time for your medicine, Desi. Father's gotta sleep.
When you say it in that voice, it sounds so creepy. It sounds like you're like a hitter. Like, yep, time for your sleep. It's anyway.
Edie, the cook of the lizard party, also, cooking. You can't quite tell what it is. It's sort of a big, wide ceramic pot that's over the fire, and it has sort of a cone-shaped lid. But it's steaming and bubbling, and there's again the smell of spices in the air, and she leans, she comes over. We would be more than happy to sell you an amphora of honey wine.
Can Arthur justify trading some of his money for honey wine?
To keep Desi quiet? Yeah.
In which case, Arthur would like enough, at least, to help. Not saying we're medicating Desi here, but Desi should have the option of enjoying himself.
And if we don't have to use it for that, then we will have something to celebrate with when this is all done.
Very good idea.
That would be 10 plastic, please. And you have no idea what it just said. 10 doesn't mean anything to you.
Arthur's going to hand over some plastic and just be like, here.
And she sort of clinks it in her long-fingered paw. Looks at her. I looks at you.
I think they want more, Arthur.
And he's gonna pass over a few more. Is that sufficient?
That'll do. Thank you.
Do we not know how to count?
You have an idea of, some, many, lots in that.
Okay.
But not, simple maths is hard for dogs.
Okay.
As is for me in real life.
Well, thank you for the honey wine.
You're more than welcome. Enjoy.
Thank you for your company
Spread it
as
among
well.
themselves, as you're clearly not used to it. Yours, despite your role earlier, you still feel a bit of, that strange cotton ball sensation around your eyes.
Still a bit too strong even for me, despite my comparative size to Desi.
I feel great.
Of course you do, friend. There was bacon.
I know, right? That's the best part of the day.
And if you ever want more, we are delivering to Harlef's Emporium in the Southgate Quarter in Pugmire.
Well, there you go, Desi. There's a supply for you.
Perfect. Whatever comes with bacon. What if I make some both? Honey bacon.
Oh, you're onto a lot of plastic ideas.
Right. I think we should be going. This is Monifa, the tracker. It's a long way, and we lost some time yesterday, and we're now quite a bit into the forest, and you never quite know what might be holding us up. So let's head on.
Absolutely.
I think this whole time, like, Buttercup's been packing up their camp anyway, while she's talking. So, like,
you notice a couple of the poles have been bent or been kind of forced.
yeah.
You're trying to like separate two of them, and they don't separate.
Well, I don't remember it being this long when I took it out, but okay.
All right.
Yeah, you mentioned eventually. It's not as neatly folded as it was when you left, but yeah, it's okay. And you set off further into the forest.
Yeah.
It's still, you know, nice and warm. It's getting a bit darker. The forest is definitely getting denser, and the trees are even higher than before. And the road is still the road is fine. The road is still as wide as 2 wagons, and you make reasonable progress. And Buttercup, make me a perception check.
Okay. 28.
Right. You hear from further on and to the left in the woods, you hear giggling. Like several voices that are giggling.
Yeah, I like just I stop everyone and just go shh, shh, shh.
You hear that? I hear it. It's like a little laughing.
And as Buttercup is pointing this out, you can all hear sort of it's not manic giggling, it's like happy giggling. Coming from sort of very close to the edge of the road from further ahead.
Perhaps we should just, be on the lookout. Be careful. Sometimes giggling isn't the best.
What? Well, wait, what do you mean giggling's not the best?
I mean, evil things giggle too, just like good things do it, and it could be something bad.
What if we make friends with it?
Is that a giggle or is that more of a cackle when they're evil?
Does it sound like an evil giggle, Buttercup?
I mean, it doesn't sound. It doesn't sound not evil. We should just be on the lookout.
Would you say it has maniacal overtones?
Not yet. But who knows how things can change?
Are you walking along while you're discussing this? Or have you stopped?
Buttercup probably stopped for a moment, but then, like, as she fell into this conversation with Arthur, continued. I think she's wanting to, like, sniff it out before they get close to it.
And as you come closer to the spot where you heard the giggling from, there's sort of a sound. And still more giggling.
Buttercup, like, takes a step forward.
Hello? I can hear you. I have very good hearing.
Are you sort of are you standing on the road, or are you trying to see?
She's on the road, but I think she's, like, tentatively getting closer to where the noise is coming from. Like, with each second that passes, she's trying to see if they'll talk back to her.
No, there's no response.
We're not here to hurt you. I mean, if you're not here to hurt us, then it's very mutual, non-hurt kind of thing.
Perhaps we should send Desi in to befriend them.
Sure. Desi, would you like to go investigate?
New friends for you, pal.
Sure.
I just be careful.
Done. And he runs in.
Oh God.
As you sort of rush through, bend a few branches apart, you see a group of 5 of, where are they? These sort of creatures.
Oh.
Those look great.
What?
I'll take 2 of them.
Yeah. He runs over and he goes, how tall are they? They're like little?
They are little. They're about like less than a foot tall.
Okay. Yeah, he runs over and he goes, hi, my name's Desi. You want to be friends? I have other friends. We're on the road. We need to do friend stuff. We're going on a mission. You want to come on a mission with us?
And they look at you and they sort of shrink and look scared.
I can do that too. And he like also shrinks down. You want to be friends? You want to do some stuff? And he's just imitating them.
If Desi hasn't,
and they blink their huge eyes.
if Desi hasn't come back, then I think Buttercup is like slowly approaching, not running in, slowly walking up behind Desi to see what this thing was. Because Desi hasn't yelled out in horror yet, so maybe he's okay.
Yep. And
he doesn't really do that, so he just gets more excited.
Yeah. And he's now like sitting down with these things, and he's like, and then we were underground, and there was a cat, and she was strapped to a table, and there was like a crazy rat, it was like, ah, with the rats thing, and then we had to like rescue him, and there was like other cats, and then we were on another mission, and we found the cat. It was like 5 minutes later, now we're bringing her to Mao, and he's basically recapping the whole story.
When I see these creatures, do I know what they are?
Make a nature roll.
Okay. Let me find nature. No. 7 has been my lucky number.
And Monifa looks sort of over your shoulder and says, never seen these either. No idea what they are. Seem to be friendly.
I mean, they haven't tried to kill Desi yet.
And they're sort of were sitting in a circle of cleared space. And there's a little heap of all kinds of trinkets. Like there's a ring and a necklace. They all look quite simple, but it's all shiny and like a little cup. And there's a set of plastic cutlery as well, which is quite expensive looking.
Desi's just continuing to try to make friends with these things.
They clearly don't either don't understand what you're saying or can't actually communicate in any way other than just. And one of them picks up a cup and sort of holds it out to you.
Is it full of anything?
No.
He picks up the cup and he says, "Is this for me? I got a cup!"
He shrinks back again.
Guys! We're friends!
You made a friend!
I made a whole bunch of them.
They seem harmless.
Yeah.
Ozzy, could I attempt that nature check to see what I know about these things?
Yep.
Since I am trained as well. Even worse. I had to try.
I've never seen these before.
Huh.
Perfect. Desi looks to everyone and says, "Okay, so I made my new best friends. What if we, when we leave them here, what if we give them all kinds of fun stuff so they can stay right here and be super safe? And then we go finish this mission. We have to drop off the cat, and then we come back and we bring them back with us."
What are you going to give them?
Friendship is give and take. They have given. Now you must give in return.
Oh, I have an idea. Arthur, did you buy any of that honey wine?
I did buy the honey wine, friend.
Can we put it in the cup?
Arthur's going to pour some, not all of it. He wants to make sure, if they need to numb any wounds, that there's some to drink.
You also don't want to kill these things with it, right?
Yeah, we don't want them to die.
So you fill up like a little bit of the cup, and he takes the cup and he puts it back in the middle of all of them, and he says, "Ta-da! Now stay here."
They sort of, one after the other, sort of come close and sniff, and one of them, the boldest, and brings out that really long tongue, and sort of laps up it, and rolls Constitution, and falls over.
Buttercup's just like, you might want to check and make sure it's still alive.
Desi reaches over and pokes it. That's alive.
Well, that'll guarantee they stay here.
Yep.
And the others sort of look at them. Two of them sort of, do like pushing motions, and the one that follows, which is sort of does the giggle snort thing Desi did earlier, and they all lick, and let's see what happens. The next two are really happy with the thing. And so 3 of them are still standing up, and they are sort of start to dance around in the pattern. But the last one, they basically sort of pick it up and take the last bit out of the cup and then fall over.
And Desi looks to the ones that are still awake and he says, "Okay, now you stay right here, and I'll be right back." And he turns to his group and goes, "We're good."
Oh, yeah, we'll be back in a wag of a tail. We'll be back.
Yeah.
Okay. And
back on the journey.
As we start walking away, Sadie is going to lean over towards Buttercup and say, "They don't have any tails. How are they going to know when a whack is passed?"
Oh, I didn't think about that. They probably won't care. I mean, they have something to keep them entertained now, right?
Yeah, and Buttercup goes back onto the trail to continue on.
All right, Cat, lead the way.
And after a while, as you carry on, Arthur, you sort of rearrange you want to pick up a snack from your pouch, and you notice that your plastic pouch is missing.
Are we all present?
I think so.
I'm here.
Do we have Monifa and Mal?
Well, you all have plastic. It's just that Arthur's is missing.
I mean, do we have all of our things? I appear to be light.
No, I'm fine.
Buttercup just looks around.
I'm okay.
I have lost my plastic.
Why did you do that?
I mean, if you need some money, I can lend you some, Arthur. But did you just misplace it?
I think
Have it this morning.
between our new friends, I appear to have lost my supplies. But I believe that man shall provide from above. I believe.
Bessie, did you make friends with thieves?
I mean, today?
Specifically today.
I don't think so. They didn't talk a whole lot, and they gave me stuff.
Well, I think we should just worry about it when we come back, and maybe you can question them, Arthur. I know they don't talk, but and maybe you can just do a little sniffing around and see if they.
Yes. Let's carry on. We have lost too much time already.
What's the big hurry, Minifa?
I just want to make sure we arrive on time at the next campsite. And the more time we spend in the forest, the more unexpected things can happen.
That's very true.
We are here not to explore the forest. We are here to get through the forest, and we will have a day or two on the other side
and it
to
is
get to our destination.
We should go before anything really fearfully comes out at us.
Yeah, everything's been super fun so far.
Buttercup follows and gets back on the trail.
Mm-hmm. The rest of the day is reasonably quiet. There's nothing major. You again pass the odd trade caravan coming towards Pugmire, and you also overtaken at some point by a band of a caravan with really large oxen that are dragging carts, and all the people sitting on the wagons are all cats. And Monifa waves at them, and they wave back, and they have a quick conversation about where they go, and then they turn out to be traders from traders from Cymric, which is one of the monarchies. And so all the cats on that wagon are quite big and very, very fluffy, long-haired, fluffy. And then you make good time and reach the next campsite. I assume it's a similar arrangement to last night.
Yes, get Desi drunk and then take turns.
Perfect.
Brilliant. Right.
If we're not careful, he's going to have a drinking problem by the end of this adventure.
It's all your fault.
Or worse, if we're not careful, it's going to stop working and develop a tolerance.
God forbid.
During Sadie's watch, you all wake up because there was an almighty fluttering, and there's a large branch that reaches all across the campsite, and on this branch lands. I'm going to take you to the next map. Because this is a background image, and on the here we go.
Very nice.
So this is a piece I commissioned my friend Gina Olnard, who did the art from last game. Made that, and on this branch lands an owl. It's huge. It's about the same size as Buttercup.
Is it? Oh wait, this is Sadie's watch, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
but you all wake up from the fluttering, and it's hooting. Ooh.
Is Is it right to think that like owls aren't this huge? This is a rare owl.
Make me a nature check.
Okay.
Anyone
Those
who's
have done so well.
proficient in nature.
Oh my god.
That you don't know anything about the forest.
Katie, what are you doing?
It's not. I just keep rolling sevens.
What's happening here?
7.
You know what?
This is supposed to be your strong suit.
Eric.
Katie, you do have a crit, just so you know. In case
Yeah.
I didn't want to use it on this. I'm so mad.
The owl demands recognition.
This is awesome.
I ate it.
Was the 6 your nature check, Sadie?
That was from her
that was
last.
from before. If you want me to make one now, I can.
Yes, please. Actually, your Arthur can make one as well.
13.
Oh yeah, cleric comes in with a 16.
Both Sadie and Arthur know that owls aren't that big usually.
Do we know if they're dangerous?
Well, in the smaller ones, they usually hunt like small rodents and rabbits and that sort of thing.
Does this one look like it could pick up a dog?
It could probably pick up Desi.
Okay.
I'm gonna go up to it and say, "How now, large owl?
Who are you?
I am Arthur. Who are you?"
I am the wise owl.
It is a pleasure to meet you, wise owl. I feel like this conversation will take 2 weeks.
You are in a dangerous part of the forest.
I have already had my plastic stolen. I am but a poor cleric now, but I am rich in friends.
That is nothing.
What dangers await us, wise owl?
There are things that should not be. They're getting bigger and stronger.
We saw termites take down a tree in second.
No. These things should be. There are other things that should not be.
Other
You
things.
call them the unseen.
There are those who do not believe in the unseen.
They are fools. The
On this
unseen
we
has
agree.
always been here, and it's getting stronger.
Do you have any advice for us, friend owl?
Stay on the road. Stay in light. Do not stray.
I shall make sure that Desi understands this.
Do not be tempted by anything.
Is there temptation to fear?
These things are cunning and dangerous. They might want to make you think there are things that are not there.
If they are cunning, then we shall be quick like the bull.
Good. And the owl flutters off.
Do you learn anything, Arthur?
Arthur can make me a history check.
With pleasure. Nat 20.
There you
You
go.
have heard. We have heard rumors that people from far away, who have traveled far away, and also some of the lizards have reported this, that in foreign lands are birds that are uplifted just as you are uplifted dogs.
It seems, friends, that the darkness holds many dangers, and Desi should not stray from the path or the light.
To be fair, Arthur, I have been telling him that the whole trip.
I believe the owl was not just an owl, like we are not just dogs.
Well, I mean, if it talked.
But the path and the light are so boring and normal.
The dangers of the unseen outweigh boring and normal.
Fine.
Arthur has a very good point.
And we are contracted for a job, are we not?
I guess so.
We really don't want our friend to be hurt by the unseen. We should just stick to the path and continue on, and we'll be fine.
And on the way back, we will find your little friends again, Desi, and you will have adventures.
Yeah, let's do that.
I think Buttercup looks around.
Well, since we're all awake, we can just continue on and just start our journey early. Maybe we'll make better time.
Yeah, it's not too long. You wouldn't have been sleeping for too long. You're reasonably rested.
Yeah, because I had the last watch, so let's get moving. Should be our last night in the forest. If we push, should be out the other side at the end of today, right?
We should hit the border by midday.
Okay, then let's get out of here.
Deal.
Yeah, Buttercup
You get out of you pack up and carry on. And there's not much going on during the morning. And Monifa says, right, the border's coming up. Let me to the Dorking. And the road widens, and there is a barrier, like of those log barriers across the road. There's an actual building to one side. It's like a log cabin type building, and a smaller hut on the other side. And by the barriers stand two tall, big, barrel-chested cats, clad in red shining plate armor, and they look like this.
Would we be familiar with the concept of a border?
Oh
Yes.
my, wait.
Wow.
Cats don't mess around.
Right? Yeah, I mean, we have border
And this is-
collies, right? So, yeah.
This is another illustration from the Monarchies of Mao, the cat book.
Nice. Yeah, Desi looks to the guide and says, "All right, well, you're up."
Yeah, one of her walks a bit faster, walks up to them, and you see them talk, and she points at the small cat that is with you, and then she waves. Well, our friends. Whoops. Our friends Silent Wind and Smoky are the good guards having watched at the border today. Silent Wind and Smoky of House Korat, obviously. They are. Korat is the monarchy that is closest to the border, just outside the forest. And yes, I told them our business, and they said to make sure we stay on the road, on the main road, as we go into the monarchy. As stray dogs are not welcome in these times. But as long as you stay on the road, you will be fine. And as they lift the barrier up, and as you walk past, they all hand you a wooden token shaped like a shield. And on it, this is the thing I forgot. I am terribly sorry. Let me describe it to you. Oops. I've lost my place in the thing. Sorry. And it's a shield, and it is sort of the shape of it's a rectangle standing on its point with 3 further rectangles in red and 2 further rectangles in black inside across the top. I really should have copied that, but I think you can imagine what it looks like. This is the symbol of House Korat. Carry this with you at all times, and show it when challenged. This will tell them that you are here in the monarchies on legitimate business. And they hand each of you one of those tokens.
My thank you. I shall treasure it for always.
They salute and let you go.
Perfect. Now where?
The road carries on.
Well, I don't know this place. And he looks to the guide again. We made it to the border, and now what?
Well, we have another half day of journey ahead. One more night in the forest, and then we should hopefully reach Korat by the end of the following day. Oh, yes, you can see the symbol in the back of the picture I posted earlier.
I get you. Yeah, so he looks to the guide and says, all right, well, let's do this then. And he begins marching forward down the path.
Yeah, Buttercup follows after Desi.
Arthur is going to follow the sprightly one.
And you carry on until the early evening, when you hear the road again takes a bend, and so from around the bend you hear the typical sound of a wagon approaching, and there is a crunching sound and a cut off high-pitched scream, and then rustling and breaking of leaves.
What was that?
Sounded like a scream.
Sounded like a wagon. Is it a screaming wagon?
It sounded like a distraction.
You think? But what if somebody's hurt? What if they need help?
Or what if it's an actual screaming wagon?
What if there's trouble looking for us?
What if someone's found trouble and we need to help them?
What if the screaming wagon's in trouble?
I'm going to start proceeding in that direction, tightening my grip on my spear.
As you come around the bend, you see a wagon. It's on its side. It's not a wagon. It's like a cart, and like a hand cart you would pull behind you.
Right.
It's on its side, and there are wrapped parcels that used to be on it that are sort of scattered all over.
Do I see signs of anybody or just the cart?
You see like it's not tracks, but it's a flattened area of ground leading into the forest. It's a good body length wide.
Like somebody got dragged in there.
Mm-hmm.
Is anybody following me around the bend at this point, or?
We'll go with you.
Yeah.
Buttercup will keep it the back, but she'll follow.
Yeah, I think Desi runs around the bend after you do, and he says, "Oh no! Someone's killed the screaming cart!"
I know we have a job to do, but... And I kind of point where, like, to the flattened ground as it leads out towards the forest. Somebody got grabbed.
And we should probably help.
Yeah, I don't know how to repair a screaming cart.
All right, let's try to do this quickly. I'm gonna see if I can't follow the tracks.
Well, it's like a reasonably big depression, like something.
I didn't say it would be hard to find the track.
It's in real world terms, it's like 2 yards wide, and it's like a flattened area into the forest. Like something big moved there along there.
Okay, then it will be very easy to follow.
This is definitely easy to follow, yeah. And because you're now, as you follow this, it's now you're away from the road, and it's really dark because the forest is so dense. It's so dense here.
Mm.
The trees are not that close together, but the tops are close together.
Buttercup is definitely skittish again as she's following behind. She's looking as much as she can in this darkness, and sort of I think relying more on her hearing and her smell as she follows after the group, trying to warn of anything that might happen.
Arthur, I take it you don't have any sort of light magic, do you?
I can cast a flame, but it wouldn't be suitable for light.
You do have the light spell.
I do indeed. I could. Yeah, Arthur's going to cast light upon something. On what?
You can use your mace. Like in the picture.
Well, I was thinking maybe the spear might be a better option.
Okay.
On my spear?
Yes. So
Okay.
Arthur's going to reach out and boop the snoot and on the spear snoot, obviously, and cast light.
Thank you.
And if you
What does
see
your
anything
prayer
from
to
the
man
spear,
sound like as he casts like light.
and yea, unto man we have been the best of all doggos, and we humbly request guidance and light. Illuminate our way.
Excellent. So you follow the that thing, and there's the ground dips, and there's this almost like a crater, like a hollow in the ground, and you see a faint from before you get there. You see a faint green light coming from there. And as you creep closer, you see this. This is again from the Mao book.
Oh, no.
Don't like that.
Wow.
Okay, so we see that. Do we see anybody, like, do we see who it grabbed from the cart?
Nope.
Do I know what do I know what this is?
You just have to keep trying.
I mean, I could roll another 7.
Roll a quick 7 for
What
us.
you have smelled the unseen, Buttercup, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
This thing is definitely demonic.
Oh no.
It's the biggest thing you've seen. It looks a bit like, from what you've been told, raided your village.
Yeah, you hear Buttercup behind going,
Oh no. This is. Do you know the things I was talking about in the forest that are worse than badger bandits? This counts. This is a demon.
Demon what?
I don't know if it has a better categorization.
Should we slay it?
Just a demon. Yes, we probably should.
Can we eat it?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
All right. I heard the words "we probably should," and so I'm gonna start trying to make my way to close that gap a little bit towards it. If it hasn't noticed us yet.
Do you just move up closer to try to be quiet about it?
Try to be quiet about it.
Okay, I assume you're not proficient in stealth?
I don't think so. Nope, that's not one of my 3 skills.
Then just make me a dex check, please.
17.
Yeah. This stray knows how to move quietly. And you come up closer. Let's see if it can smell you. Nope, it doesn't smell you. You reckon you could probably get a good lob with your spear from where you are?
Well, I'm actually going to do, since the spear is also our light source, and I want to hit this thing hard. I'm gonna stick the spear in the ground, so it's almost like a torch with the the light sort of spreading out in the area.
Yep. So
I'm
the blunt end into the ground.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna pull that big hammer. It's almost like a sledgehammer or something, more than a proper weapon even. And I'm gonna start getting mad because this is a demon. It's killed somebody, and I'm gonna swing with all of my might into this thing.
Okay, make me an attack roll.
All right, let's do this. Keep hearing it. I think it's a chair squeak, but it keeps sounding like a scream.
It's both.
Yep, you definitely hit.
So this will have 3 more damage.
Oh no, hang on. Yep, that's a definitely hit. Yep.
Yeah, so that'll actually be 13 bludgeoning damage as I go into a rage.
It's you hit it right in the side of the head, and the head caves in slightly, and greenish pus starts to squirt out. And now we roll initiative. So the way initiative works is whoever rolls highest goes first, but then that person passes on initiative to whoever they wish. I get an almighty 8.
Katie, you did it. You rolled above a 7.
Yay!
So we're just gonna ignore like all the 28 nature check, the good stuff I've rolled, and just focus on the 7s.
The 7s,
okay.
yeah.
I see how it is.
There were just so many of them.
Sadie is first.
Yeah, apparently she's on the ball here. So I hit this thing once really, really good, and Sadie, she really wants to be a good dog and take this thing out, this dangerous creature. And we're getting a little late in our stream, and I still have a nat 20 I haven't used. So this seems like the perfect time.
Yep.
As I swing that maul again into the same sort of like softened area where this creature just wasn't prepared. And I will go ahead and spend that to get a crit.
Okay, roll me that crit damage. So it's the die doubled and then your modifier on top.
Okay, so this will be what, 2d12.
Yep.
In the modifier, so that will be 19 more damage.
Again, you swing. The first one was like that, and then you swing your hammer around the other way, and it goes splat, and the head explodes, covering you in green goo. And you need to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
No, make me a Dex saving throw first. So if you can jump out of the way of the biggest splash. Yeah.
18. Okay. What is happening with my dice rolls? Roll 20s normally hates me.
I'm here.
You managed to avoid most of it.
Okay.
And one Constitution saving throw still.
Okay, so my rage doesn't do anything for it, but I do have a hardy constitution, so I will add a d4 on top of whatever this is. So that'll be that plus, oops, I accidentally rolled 2, so we'll take the 2, so that'll be a 16.
Okay, you're fine. You feel... Well, there are bits of, obviously, you're mostly uncovered, unarmored. There are bits of fur that start to smoke a bit, but you're mostly fine.
Keep your distance if you can.
You take 3 points of acid damage.
Okay.
And but the thing is now sort of, it's still twitching a bit, but not doing anything.
All right, so then the way initiative works, so then I kind of declare who goes next, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know what? I want to see what Desi can do here. Desi's been super hyperactive, ready to help and stuff like that. We're actually in a dangerous situation. I want to see what happens. So I'm going to give the initiative to you, sir.
Perfect. So you told him to keep at range. How big is this giant monstrosity?
Big. It's
Big.
like 4 times the size of you.
Got it. Cool.
It could, if it still had a head, it could like eat you in one gulp.
Okay. But it's still moving, right? Even though its head is smashed.
It's just twitching.
Oh.
So it's not trying to attack anyone. It's just, it's probably, it's in its death throes.
Got it. Yeah, then Desi looks down at Sadie and he like, hey, is it dead? Did we win?
It's still moving.
All right. And he pulls out a crossbow and fires his crossbow at it.
Okay. You can roll the advantage.
Well, 18. So let's see if I get 20. No. So 18. He fires in 8 damage as the arrow kind of splits into this thing.
Flat. It sort of stops twitching.
I got it! Now what? You think it ate the cart?
The cart was still on the road.
Well, the broken parts of the cart. What do we do now?
Given I've split this thing's head open, is there any like sign of maybe something it recently ate?
Or signs of another person?
You want to dig in?
Given all that burning and everything, not too much. I will sort of like grab a stick and do what I can, but I don't want to like. If I see signs of somebody, I might reach in. But if I don't, then I'm trying to play this carefully.
You see a skeletal foot.
So just bone at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then I will stop. Well, it won't get anybody else.
I mean, part of our code is to protect things from the unseen, and this is definitely from the unseen, and I think we did good.
Well, we've protected its next victim, at least.
Exactly. We should probably go back to the path and continue on our journey, and hope that nothing else.
Arthur's going to say a prayer over the foot.
Desi walks up to Arthur like while he's in mid-prayer, right? And he goes, "See, I told you, staying on the path and in the light is boring and normal. This was so much fun."
As Arthur gets to the end, deliver him unto you, Amen. He looks at Desi and says, just remember, little friend.
Yeah.
Next time you might be the foot.
No, I'm Desi.
Yes. Yes, you are.
I'm gonna be very careful and like cleaning. I'll clean off my hammer with like some water and stuff before I try to like put it back on my back.
Yeah, you find a little stream that you can wash your hammer. Because the wood of the handle has sort of is blackened. It still seems to hold together, but if you hadn't washed it, it might have damaged the handle quite considerably. So you might want to replace it at some point.
Right, it's okay. I still have my spear for the time being, and it's not like I paid a lot for this hammer.
Well, we killed the thing, Buttercup. Now what?
I think we should follow what Manifa tells us to do. We should deliver our.
Yes, let's carry on.
Perfect.
Because we're a bit short on time. I thought we would, start a little earlier, but there were some things that needed to be done first. The next watch is uneventful. The next night is uneventful, and then towards mid-morning of the next day, you come out of the forest, and you see obviously it's lighter at first, and then still after almost 4 days in this almost perpetual darkness, you come out into bright sunshine, into this beautiful countryside of rolling hills. Towards the north, in the far north, you see the edge of a mountain range, and the road meanders through the hills, and then good, we made it. And this is welcome to Korat, the first monarchy as we end our country. Be kind, as let's not stray from the road, and I will take you to our target location. And Monifa strides on, and you follow her, and it's towards the you meet again wagons on the road, lots of cats. They look at you, a bit suspiciously, but no one challenges you as such, because it's this is the main trade route between the two realms, and so dogs aren't an unusual sight. And then towards the evening, you reach a settlement. A similar style to what you are used to, so mostly stone. Here, the roofs are all thatched, and there's lots of cats milling about. And Monifa takes you to the center of the center square. There's a nice big fountain and a rather large building with huge round circular windows at several stories. That the windows catch the sunlight as the last rays of the day. And we should see if the Castellan is home. And she goes to the building that is next to the building with the huge windows. Again, it's 3 stories. Knocks on the door. A fluffy cat in sort of servant's uniform opens it. They exchange a few words, and they show you in. And there's a big communal room. There's a long table with benches along the side. At the end is a smaller table across it, on the podium. And at this podium there sits a cat. I lost the word again. What is it? The tortoiseshell, very tightly curled hair, dressed in a flowing, not quite robe, but it's sort of a wrap. And he stands up. Welcome. Monifa tells me you bring a guest. My name is, which I've forgotten. Sorry. My name is Sylvester von Rex. I'm the local Castellan, and I bid you welcome.
I have no idea what that means. We brought her. And he points to the cat.
I'm the overseer of the local grey places. We are what you would call pioneers.
That's what I am.
See?
Perfect.
You know what I mean.
Well then, I'm a Castellan also.
No.
No?
You're not a Castellan. You're a trailblazer.
Oh. All right. Sure. We brought your friend. And he points to the cat again.
And she looks up. Please come here. And she's really scared. And Monifa takes her hand and takes her up. And they talk quietly for a moment. And Rex looks Sylvester looks quite concerned. I think this is a case for the ministers and the mancers. And he rings a bell, and the servant from earlier comes in. Fetch us Millie Main Coon and and Spooky von Angora, please. And the servant heads off. You hear tramping upstairs, and comes back with two more cats. One is dressed in green robes, and the other one is dressed in grey and blue with a big pointy hat, and they look like this. So this is Millie Main Coon von Simric.
Clearly a Slytherin.
And whoops, sorry. Other button. And this is Spooky. And these are both featured cats from the book, from the Monarchies of Mount book. And they nod at you, and they all go up to the podium, and they all talk to the cat, the one in green. Sort of touches her paws on the small cat's head, and you see a bright light sparkling of her fingers and her claws, and they all look very concerned. And again, quiet conversation with Sylvester, and he turns and we hear she was captured by rats. Were the rats wearing white coats? And Desi, you remember they did.
Yeah.
Buttercup looks at Des. He's like,
He can tell you the whole story. He's told us many times.
Yeah, they were wearing white coats, and they had a thing, and they put it on her head, and her head was like beep, boop, 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 and it had like needles in it, and they were trying to control her brain, I think. And they had a big giant needle, and then I beat him up.
It's very good that you brought her here, because she's quite injured. We don't know exactly what they did to her, but we have these rats here as well. They are a problem. They call themselves the Cult of Laborator. They are calling themselves scientists that claim they they want to carry on the work of man, of the old ones, which is against all we know what man ever did. And they are concerned. And it's also of concern that they seem to have invaded the realm of the dogs as well. All I can say is be careful, and maybe if do you know if there are any more, or did you manage to root them out?
I mean, there was only a handful down there, and we definitely got all of those ones.
No, you remember one got away.
Oh, I thought we got it at the end. Yeah, then he says that. No, one got away.
Yeah, one got away. You
said they are scientists.
That's what they say.
Someone spoke to me of science recently.
That is a good point.
Could the two be connected?
Who was it who spoke to you of science?
His name was Salim, and he was the leader of a lizard caravan.
Oh, lizards! No. Yes, they call it science as well. They practice magic. It's unusual magic and quite wonderful. But no, they are quite harmless if you don't provoke them.
Well, they seemed friendly to me.
The lizards are curious, and we don't really understand them, but they bring exciting things from their lands and are always welcome guests, and their lights are so shiny.
No,
but the rats, those are definitely
is good enough.
Ones.
So what now? Do you have any leads to find these things?
Well, as I said, your best bet will be to search from the place where you found them. They might have left leads.
I have an idea. Who's in charge here?
Well, around here it's me.
Great. You should talk to the lady who's in charge of us. And then we should team up, because you have a rat problem, and we have a rat problem, then we can team up and make a super rat catcher team.
That would be an idea.
Sounds like a great idea for a part 3.
Indeed. That would be a wonderful idea. Most of the cats around here are wary of dogs, but I know them to be good people. I know them to be trustworthy, most of them anyway. Most of them I met, and I've been to your beautiful city a few times, and every dog I've had dealings with was quite amenable. So this is something we should keep in mind.
I agree.
And I think that's how much time have you got left?
Like 5 minutes.
Right. Okay. And so there's they take the rat to the local healers, and they invite you to stay for a few days if you like. Because they are happy that you brought them back, and they managed to restore some of her memory. And they also know that the cat used to be a mancer spooky. So the cat's version of an artisan, spellcaster. But she forgotten all of her spells, and she also lost her focus, which means she needs to find a new focus before she can try and learn new spells again. You also remember that Picasso had a similar issue, but she recovered a lot more quickly, and she still remembered how to cast spells.
Yeah.
But because the small cat, she can't still not quite remember her name, and they are going to what they're going to do after they've done everything they can is find out where she might have come from, because she would have been not on her own but with a group, and so they would be trying and reunite her with her friends.
Try to find the missing ones. Yeah, I think Desi would take whatever missive, like once the days have passed, he would take whatever missive this guy writes to the leader of the pioneers after they return. Of course, stopping back to try to get his little frog friends to come with them.
When you on the way back, you find them again, and they have added a bag of plastic coins to their loot, to their pile of loot.
Oh, cool! A suspicious bag of plastic coins.
A suspicious bag of plastic coins.
Weird.
Which has an embroidered A on it.
That's
that
nice.
could be anybody's.
This looks vaguely familiar.
Huh. You guys have the same taste. That's awesome. So yeah, guys, this was
another adventure into the realms of Pugmire.
Yeah.
I got my timing slightly wrong because I thought we would start a little earlier.
That's all right.
As I wanted to do a bit more in the monarchies themselves, but still, you have there's is it Pugmire is this wonderful book.
Yeah.
By
Onyx Path.
Where all good books are sold, or at least your local friendly gaming store. It's also on Drive-Thru RPG. The same for the Monarchies of Mao. At least the PDF is available from either Onyx Path or Drive-Thru RPG. The hardback version of Monarchies of Mao should be available in the next couple of months. They've gone out to Kickstarter backers, but usually it's the case they do all the backer deliveries first, and then it goes into circulation. Mm-hmm. But it's definitely available as PDF. It's the same rule set for both. It's just things work slightly differently. Cats have slightly different classes. For example, they have wanderers, which are a bit like monks in D&D. The spellcasters are mantas, which are sort of the darker magic and a bit of necromancy in it. So a lot of warlock spells, whereas artisans have more wizard spells. And the ministers, so basically their version of clerics, mechanically are the same, but they don't work with prayers. They work by inspiration and by sheer force of will, because they don't have gods in such, like unlike the dogs who pray to man, the cats believe in themselves and their greatness, and that's where the ministers draw the power from.
Makes sense. So Ozzy, thank you so much for running this game. Let's do our outros. Get you guys' thoughts on this campaign or this one shot here, because this is everyone else's first time in the Pugmire universe. So we'll start with Katie. Katie, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what did you think of your first time in Pugmire?
This is great. I really enjoyed it. I had been wanting to play Pugmire for a very long time, so when Ozzy asked me, I was like, "Yeah, I'll totally do it." I wish I had rolled better.
Don't we all, Katie? Don't we all?
I thought, Buttercup is going to blaze through all that and, feed you the info so I don't have to. And then she rolls it.
No. That's what happens when you invite me to your game. I roll like that. I'm Katie. You can find me on Twitter at KatieFace. I post everything that I'm doing there. I'm mostly on Off the Table. I'll be back here at 4 to play some City of Mist. So I'm very excited. That's another system I've never played before. I've wanted to play. So I will see you all again in a couple of hours.
It's a whole day of new stuff for you.
It is. I love it.
Yeah. Let's jump over to another familiar face. Adel, who are you? Where can we find you? And what was your thoughts on your first foray into Pugmire?
Hello, I'm Silent Adel. I'm all over the internet under that nickname, especially on Twitter. I try to be funny 7 days a week. I thought that was fun as heck. When Ozzy invited me, I was like, almost D&D with dogs? I'm down for that. Damn, am I down for that. Trying to get all the D words in. It was a heck of a time, and I can't wait to see more of it. Thanks for inviting me, guys.
Of course, glad to have you here. We'll jump over to 12th Night. Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what did you think of your foray into Pugmire?
I'm Christine, and as mentioned there, my Twitter handle is 12th Night, which is 12th and Night with a K. I sadly will not be back on the stream later on today, but if you want to hear more from me, then head over to theheidiandway.com, where I do a Star Wars actual play podcast called Heroes of the Heidian Way. And I love my first foray into Pugmire. I had heard a little bit about the game before, but I never dug too deep into it. And it's been fascinating learning more about the setting and seeing what's different about it and how all of these different uplifted animals cooperate with one another, or sometimes don't.
That is absolutely true. Yeah, it was definitely a learning curve my first time when I played through this game, because you have all your typical dog tropes that don't apply to this world. But yeah, no, Ozzy is a great DM for Pugmire, having a blast playing it. Like I said, this is the second show that we've had in the charity stream this year. So, Ozzy, thank you for running this. And who are you? Where can we find you? And what did you think of this one shot?
Yeah, I'm Ozzy. I'm Cohamed on Twitter, and I do things like this. I pop up on various people's channels to play or run games. Like tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, I will be on Other Dogs channels for My Life with Santa. Ooh. So Jim is going to take My Life with Master and wrap it into a Christmas-themed story, which will, I assume, be quite harrowing and nasty, knowing the system. And yeah, I loved it. I loved all of you. It was great. It would have been great to have a little bit more time to explore the Monarchs a bit more, but we can all do this again at some point. And what I would love to do is do a crossover group. Have half dogs and half cats as they go after the rats, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Fantastic. Thank you guys so much. We've raised almost $100 today here. We've raised another $50 over on the actual Extra Life page. Guys, we are trying to break 500. That is the last little bit we need to make to reach $10,000 for the year. So stick around. We have 3 more games. Coming up next, we have some Dungeons & Dragons. So after a short break, we're going to jump back in here with a whole new set of people and play some D&D. So for now, we will see you guys back in a few minutes. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.